Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at Dr. Finn's book of solo strategy and word games. Dr. Finn games, I've been a really big fan of their games. I've played a lot of them. A lot of them I really love. He made a bunch of games for Pencil First Games too. I love him as a designer, and I was super interested in this workbook that he came up with that is available on Amazon. Now this book here will give you 8 different games you can play, and it comes with 8 different sheets. And you of course can photocopy those, and so you can have unlimited sheets for this. But let's go ahead down the table here, and I'm going to show you what comes in this book, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. All right, so this is Dr. Finn's book of solo strategy and word games. In this book, you're going to get 8 different games. You're going to get Cosmic Run. So you notice he published a game called Cosmic Run. So you'll be semi-familiar with this game if you've played that one before. This one's Mission 1. You have Crunch the Numbers, Pen Pals, Leftover Letters, Spell It Out, The Little Flower Shop, Open for Business. I actually really enjoy the Little Flower Shop board game. Word Rap, and My Perfect City. Now, these games here, if you look at the scores, I didn't do very well, but you can keep track of your total scores in here. And there's 8 games in here, and there's 8 sheets for each. Now, the rules for them, so this is Cosmic Run Mission 1 here. You are going to have the rules in here, and then you're going to have these sheets here that you get to play with. And for Cosmic Run, basically what you're doing is you're going to have 4 dice here. And you're going to roll these 4 dice. And a little bit of a Yahtzee style, you're going to be able to re-roll these. However, you do have a rule where every time you roll, you have to at least lock in 1. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to cross these off as and get to these planets before your opponent does. So for this first one, I'm looking for a 1 here, and then a 2, then a 3, then a 4, then a 5, then a 6. For these ones, I'm looking for any doubles. For this one, I'm looking for triples, and this one, I'm looking for all 4 to be equal. Now, I also have these special abilities. So if I lock in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, I'll get to use these abilities on future turns. Like here, I can circle this to, in a future turn, be able to turn to any value, or adjust a die +1 or -1, flip a die, re-roll 1 to 2 dice, re-roll a die, move a die. So those will be really helpful abilities, especially when I'm trying to get these 4 here. So I'll roll this in here, and let's say, you know what, I can't get anything in here, so maybe we'll just try that. I'll dock that in there. If I can't complete this, I lose the die. I have a 1. 1's going to be really good here, so I'll dock that one here, so that I'll get this one done. I have a 1 and a 6 left. I'm going to go ahead and re-roll those. Oh, I have a 5 and a 6. I have to dock one of them. Really hoping to roll a 3 here, but I'll go ahead and dock this 6 because that's super useful. I'll go ahead and roll this. I rolled another 6. That's bad for me. I'll put that there. So I'll circle these 2. I lose this one. I get to mark off this 1. And you can do multiple, like I could have got a 2, 3, and 4 if that would have worked out. But then I roll the die for the enemy, and everything with a 5 in any of these rows gets marked off. So in this case, this one gets marked off. So it gets closer to the planet. If there's none of them that match that number, like this is a 3 or 4 or 1 or 2, then I still have to mark one off. If multiple of them on the top here match, I mark them all off. So it can come faster and faster towards capturing these planets. If I get the planet, I get the value here, so 7, 12, 15, 20. If I lose the planet, I take this value and subtract where I made it to. So if I made it up to this 5, 4, so I lose 3 points. You're going to take your total score, and you're going to be looking at the chart there to determine how well you did. The next game we have in here is, I think it's called Pen Pals, I believe. And in Pen Pals, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be trying to block in these animals. So to start the game, you're going to roll for each row here. If you get an odd, you'll put a bucket here. Even, you put a bucket here. Odd, put a bucket here. So odd, I put a bucket here. I roll again, I got odd, I put a bucket here. Go to the next row, odd, bucket here. Roll again, even, put a bucket there, and so on until all the rows have buckets. And then on my turn, I'm going to roll a die and look at this chart here. And I'm going to be able to, oh, sorry, 2 dice. So I do 2 dice here, and I can then say, okay, well, either way it's going to be even. But I could use 1 dice for the even or odd, and I can use 1 die for this number. So in this case, I could do 2 and 6, which would give me this shape. Or I could do 2 and 6 this way, so 6 is the even, and that would give me this double line. And I'll do that to draw in these lines on the board here. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get either all the same animals in one grouping with a bucket, but either way I'm trying to get everything in with 1 bucket and not multiple buckets. If I have multiple buckets, I only score 1 point per animal in that region. However, if I have exactly 1 bucket in a region, I can get a lot of points. So I'm looking at the number of animals, 1, 2, 3, or 4. If they're all the same, I can get up to 15 points. Different animals, if I have 4 different animals in there, I can get up to 10 points. So you can get a lot more points in there. You're going to score all these, and then you're going to get your total score and look to see how well you did. But that, real briefly, is how you're going to do pen pals. We also have this next game here is going to be word wrap. So in word wrap, you're going to roll the die to determine where you're going to start here. And then you're going to roll a die each turn here to figure out the grouping of words that letters you're going to capture. And then you can place those letters anywhere on here. And you're trying to create words here, and the points for the words are here. So some of them you get double points. So if I got a V there for somehow, and I will get double points for that 4-pointer if I can complete it as a word. So you're basically just trying to get the most points possible, and on that one. So the next one we have here is My Perfect City. With My Perfect City, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be trying to place out these shapes here. So you have these numbers right here, and you're going to place them out in the grid. Wherever you start, you're going to need to make the next one orthogonically adjacent, and this will take 1 die. I roll the die, so 6, I can take one of these shapes and place them on the board, and then I cross it off. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get these capitals, which is this one right here. I'm trying to have one of each type around it. If I do, I'll get 3 points. If I have the bank here, I'm going to get 2 points every time I have one of every symbol in a row or column where a bank is. For the forests, I'm looking for groupings of those. So if I have a 1 tree, it's 0. If I have 2 trees, it's 1. 3 trees is 3 points, and 4 trees is worth 6 points. For houses, I'm picking a row and a column, and I'm adding up all the houses, and for every house that's in that column and row, I gain a point. For these buildings here, every building that I have around the outer edge, I'm going to get a point for. You also have some powers, like I can flip some of these spaces. If I mark off this, I can invert it the other direction if I mark off that one, and then I can also take off one of these symbols here if it doesn't work out in my favor. But that's basically going to be how you do My Perfect City. You're trying to score the most points by placing these out. You'll roll a die each time to figure out what shape you get. Again, we're not really going over all the rules here. I'm just giving you an idea how each of these play. The next one, we have leftover letters. All right, so for leftover letters, basically what we're going to be doing in here, and this one actually is the hardest one for me, is we're going to be rolling the die here, and we're going to be placing out the letter we roll. So it'll be 2 dice. We'll add them up, so 2. I'll place out a Y. I can place it anywhere on here, and I'll write it with a point value on the side of it. We're going to do that, repeat that until this whole thing's full, and then we're going to roll 2 dice, and the farthest away is going to be, let's say, the top, and the closest to me is going to be the bottom. We're going to go ahead over, so I take this dot, and then I have to cross off one of those 4 letters. And we're going to repeat that until 10 times, and then we're going to have our letters. So it's going to look something like this monstrosity, where I have some crossed off here, and then I'm going to try to form words that I put over here for points. Now, couple things to notice. Any letter that goes into these spots are double points. and I can re-roll. So while I'm forming this board here, I can use these re-rolls to re-roll the die if I don't like what happens. And if I complete all the letters in either a row or column, I'll be able to double the score, which is pretty cool too. So in a nutshell, that's going to be how you play that one. The next one we have is the Little Flower Shop Open for Business. All right, let's go over how this one works. All right, so this one here is one of my favorite here, and you're going to need 4 dice for this one. You're going to roll 3 dice, and you're going to pick 3 of them. And what you're going to do is you're going to circle the resource that you're going to get with these. So let's say I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to look at the values here. Right now, the candlestick is only worth 1, but it could go up. The bear is only worth 1. The teacup's worth 2. This vase is worth 2, this vase is worth 3, and this vase is worth 3. But you can see that these can drop, and I'll show you how that happens in a second. So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and diversify. I'm going to circle this one. I'm going to circle the teacup, and I'm going to go ahead and circle this vase here. Then I'm going to roll 2 dice. I'm going to roll 2 dice, and these markets get changed. So I'm going to cross off this 2, and it's going to go roll 1. I'm going to cross off this 6, and it's going to go to this 1. So now this vase is only worth $1, and this teacup's only worth 1. And I have to sell all of one column here. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and get the $3. So I'll mark 3 here, and then I'm going to go ahead and mark off this. Then we're going to roll again. I'm going to pick, ooh, you know what? This is eventually going to be worth a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and do 3 here and hope that I can get this to like the $3 or the $4. And then I'm going to roll 2 dice and see which markets change. The 2 is going to change to the $4 now for the teddy bears. And the 6 changed again, so it's at $4. I do have to sell an item. I am going to sell the teacup right now. It's only going to be $1, so I'll write that in here and cross it off. Then I'm going to roll again. I need something to sell. Teacups are worth not a lot. This vase could potentially be $3, so I'll circle here. You know what? I'm going to put another 2 in here. I'm going to hopefully get a giant payday. I'm going to roll 2 dice. I'm going to then, here we go. That's going to be helpful, 3. Then I'm going to go ahead and cross this. Now the teacups are worth $3. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and sell this vase for $3. Now we're going to get to this point right here. This is going to be important because I'm going to show you that. We're going to roll. I'm going to put another 1 in, and then I'm going to do 2 4s. All right, then I'm going to roll my 2 dice, and I rolled a 1, which I'm very happy about, and I rolled a 2. I'm going to try, hopefully, to get one more roll of the 1 in here to get it to $4. That'll be really awesome. And then I got to sell something, so I'm going to sell these 2 guys here. They're going to be $2 each, so it's going to be $4. All right, so now we have to pick, and we have to pick which one of these we want to do, and we're going to do that twice, and these are additional custom orders that we can get. And at the end of the game, we have to have these available, not crossed off. So we can have 5 different items. That's going to give us 15 points if we can pull that off. We have $10 for 4 different items. We have $9 for 2 pairs of items, so 2 sets of 2. We have $9 for 3 of the same, and $5 for 2 of the same. So we're going to pick which one we do. Let's say we're going to try to be a little cheeky here. We're going to try the B one. So we said that by the end of the game, we're going to hopefully have 4 different ones. We're going to continue on doing this and running through. We'll get our second custom order picked. And then by the end of the game here, after we get a ball scored up, we're going to then see if we got any of the custom orders figured out. And if we do, we'll add those up. And that'll be it. We'll take our total score, and that will be our score for the game. So that's how you play that one. Now the next one we have is Spell It Out. Now Spell It Out is going to be where you're going to roll a die here, and you're going to pick one of the letters and cross it off from this grouping and place it on the board here. Once you place your first letter, all the other letters have to be orthogonally adjacent from a different letter. And what you're trying to do is get words out on here. So if you have put a letter here, it'll be worth double points. And if it makes a word going this way, you'll get your points here. And you go horizontally and vertically in there. So you're just trying to basically make as many words as you can and get the most points. And you have 3 rolls in it. And that's that game. Now, the last game that we have here is going to be Crunch the Numbers. For Crunch the Numbers, you're going to need 3 dice. And what you're going to do for Crunch the Numbers here is you're going to roll 3 dice. Okay? So I roll 3 dice, and then I'm going to pick which one I'm going to put it in. So I'll maybe pick this one to go this grid, this one to go this grid, and this one to go this grid. And what you're trying to do is when you pick these dice to go in here, and you're 1 per grid, you're going to try to get points for your columns and your rows. So this one here, you have to have 4 numbers that don't equal each other, and you can get 2 points, and you'll unlock this reroll. Here you have to have all odd numbers. Here your numbers have to add up to be less than 10. Here have to be all even numbers. Here all the numbers need to be equal. All the numbers need to be equal. All the numbers need to be greater than 12. And so on and so forth for all of these things. So you're just trying to place these numbers out on them so you can score as many points as possible on each of these grids, and potentially maybe try to unlock some of these abilities so you can adjust your dice to make them work best for you. But that's going to be Crunch the Numbers and the last game in this book here. You can print out additional sheets. It has a QR code for that on here. So, or you can photocopy the ones that are in here or laminate them and use dry erase markers. But that's it. That's going to be Dr. Finn's Book of Solo Strategy and Word Games. Let's go ahead back of the table here and I'll give you my final thoughts on this game. So that was Dr. Finn's Book of Solo Strategy and Word Games. There's a lot of different games in here, so 8 different games in here. They all play fairly differently, and you only need 4 dice max for this entire book. Now, some of them I love a lot more than others. I'm really horrible at word games, so I try to steer away from those, and the other ones I really loved in general. If you loved word games, this workbook definitely has a good selection of those for you, and they are very difficult, I think, well, latest for me. So there's a lot of replayability in this. What I would recommend that if you do pick up this book and you enjoy the games in here, I think you should cut out and laminate a couple of the sheets there so that you can replay this indefinitely. The Flower Shop game is definitely my favorite in all these. I really love that game. I think it's really a lot of fun. A lot of things to think about in the game. Really fun if you can actually pull off that big payday and get a lot of points or money from that. Really great game and my favorite out of all these. The games in here are really good if you need to have something to do for a little while. This is going to be something you can bust out with minimal effort and have some fun. But yeah, so basically that's my opinion on this. This is going to be a game that's like an adult workbook. It's a lot of fun. And if that's up your alley, this is very inexpensive. I think at the time of this recording, I think it's like $12 on Amazon. So it's not very expensive for all you get with this. So I highly recommend it in that because it's a really good price point. But either way, that's my thoughts on it. And if you like what we do, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out a lot. It helps us bring out more content to you all and get more videos and all that fun stuff. But either way, I hope you all have a great day and thank you for watching.